But please do. This meeting is recording, so others. Sorry, guys.
He's just told us it's recording.
Sorry, yeah. Later, if
What's that knocking I can hear?
sorry, that's me.
Cockwheels going. Cockwheels.
Yeah.
I've missed you, Gary. Where you been?
Right, okay, we're now sharing the screen, guys. Colin, you keep an eye on what's happening.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna
Try and be good, Emma.
go for it, Colin.
Right. Good evening, everybody, and thank you for attending our AGM this evening. Let me start, which will hopefully this will, fingers crossed, this will be the last one on Zoom. Fingers crossed, and next year we'll all be able to meet up in person in some sort of nice venue somewhere. And hopefully people will be able to, if they can't make the AGM, they can still come in on Zoom. So yeah. Well, I'd first like to start off by thanking all our volunteers and family mentors as well this year. You've all done a great job in, which has been hard times, but we've got through it all. We've kept all our families happy. I hope we have anyway. So yeah, so big thank you to them. We've also slowly started to have a couple of live events. We went to Neenham Park a month or so ago, if I remember right, and then last week we were able to have a meet up in the coffee shop, which was very nice, and thank you to Richard for organising that. It was about 10 of us, so yeah, that was very good. It's nice to finally start meeting people again. So that's that. My only other thing I've got to say is I would just like to say a big massive thank you to Emma for all her hard work in the last year, which has been very difficult, I know. She's done a fantastic job. She works very hard behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. And so I would just like to say, and I'm sure you all would as well, say a big thank you to Emma for all her hard work in the last year. So thank you, Emma.
Thank you, Colin, and a big thank you from all of us to you for leading us through really tough times. So thank you very, very much, Colin.
You're very welcome. Right, that's me then. I don't know if we have any apologies, do we? I haven't got any.
No, I just can't see if no, we haven't got any. I just can't see if we've got Caroline and Billy on, but hopefully it's all right.
Okay, right. Next on the agenda is presentation of annual report. So this is me. So you'll have to bear with me because it's quite a long statement, so I'll get through it as soon as I can. As for many charities, 2021 continued to be fraught with difficulties and uncertainties due to the pandemic. Many stillborn families continue to experience delayed surgeries, limited access to prosthetic services, ongoing delays with adaptations and benefit claims. Family Mentor volunteers have continued to work with their allocated families to provide a constant source of support and check in with them throughout the pandemic. This has been key to combating isolation and loneliness and providing some hope in toughest times. Trustees were most grateful for a grant from the National Lottery COVID Emergency Response Fund of £50,624, which enabled us to continue providing the services we have developed, particularly as all future reaching communities funding decisions have been put on hold. The grant was invaluable in ensuring we could continue to provide direct support to the most vulnerable amputee families. A business plan designed with the Cranfield Trust in 2019 has been adapted to maintain continued growth with online activities. we have continued to build partnership with fellow charities and agencies. We maintain a consortium of amputee charities meeting regular over Zoom, including Blesma, Douglas Bader Foundation, Limb Power, Limbless Association, and Finding Your Feet. We have launched a similar format for the user group across England and Wales who are on the ground connecting amputees to their prosthetic centres and wider community. Stillbones trustees continue to implement this plan throughout 2021, as well as recruiting more volunteers to extend and reach and help as many amputee families as possible. We now have 55 volunteers registered. In such uncertain times, we remain cautious, regularly reviewing activities and finance in line with numerous changes the pandemic brings. We are very grateful to all the Stillbones team for their efforts in helping keeping families connected and making the most of circumstances we find ourselves in. Stillbones celebrated its 5th birthday in 2021 with the launch of the pilot of Careers Empowerment Programme, only possible thanks to the funding from Suffolk Community Foundation. This programme is a collaboration of 10 carers working with a development manager, creating the very best model of support for our amputee family members. This is the very best way possible to celebrate our 5th year in launching a programme which fully encompasses with the entire family. We are excited for the future of this programme. Some of the key highlights of 2021 were as follows. Complete pilot of Family Mentor Programme. The Family Mentor volunteers support 700 families across England and Wales. Increased demand for our support packs. We now receive 40 to 50 new amputee family referrals each month. Secured £10,000 of COVID emergency funding from Suffolk amputee families, which went directly into fuel for food, homeschooling and wellbeing packs, along with residential household items. We have developed a relationship with Glasspool and submitted 20 successful applications for families in need of essential household goods. This has provided much needed intermittent relief for families.
You're right, it's quite a lot there, isn't there, Colin?
There are also unrestricted funds amounting to 39,281. Trustees took a prudent approach to spending in light of the potential challenging 12 months, and a decision was made to retain funds and reduce expenditure during 2021 to ensure charitable activities could be sustained throughout the coming year. It was also considered appropriate that the funds should be radically available whilst the charity awaited delayed multi-year funding grant decisions due to the pandemic. Plans for the future. In 21-22, Stillbones team and trustees will work towards securing multi-year funding to provide long-term stability and future growth planning. Providing pandemic restrictions beginning to lift and we relaunch 3 to 5 local hubs for amputees to meet with local families, as well as relaunching our fitness clubs. We hope to host Christmas party and celebration day face-to-face events. With long-term funding secured, we will be able to restrict and train more family mentors to help us meet the demand we are experiencing. We very much look forward to a time when the community can unite face to face. The trustees declare that they are approved the trustee report above. Thank you.
Lovely. Well done. So we've got Caroline and Adam. Can they propose and second the report? I can't. Can you see them,
Yes.
Colin?
No,
I'm
I
sure they're
can't.
fine with that. Yeah.
I think I'd Adam say yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy to propose it.
Thank you, Adam.
Okay. And Caroline, I'm sure she'll be fine to second it. If not, Lee can second.
That's fine. I'm having IT problems, sorry.
No
Oh, right.
worries. Yeah, it's been a bit one of those days, I think. The
Can you hear me? It's Caroline. I'm happy to second that.
Yeah, we can hear you and see you, Caroline.
Thank you.
Okay, wonderful.
Right.
That's one done, isn't it, Colin?
Yep. Have we got Billy?
Yeah, I'm just
Billy
double
here?
checking. That
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Billy's
she's
there.
there. There you go. Right, I'll hand you over to.
Oh, now let me just.
oh, go on then.
Yeah, go for it.
All right,
Go for
I'll
it, Colin.
now hand you over for Billy, who will go talk us through the accounts. Thank you, Billy.
Lovely, thank you, Colin. So obviously, as Colin's already explained, due to the pandemic, quite a lot of the fundraising was very low key or has to be held over until this coming year. But we did still manage to have some fundraising done, which was brilliant. Total receipts into the charity totaled £131,613. And after payments of 112,949, net receipts for the period of the year we're talking about was just under 19,000. We consider as trustees that the end to this financial period is more than satisfactory, and we can confirm that the charity can meet all known obligations and therefore continue on into this next financial year. We do have reserves actually in the bank account totaling just over 68,000, and together with current and fixed assets of 3,622 and the deduction of liabilities, they're positive reserves of £68,841. Some of those funds are restricted. There's the Suffolk COVID Fund, the Lottery Emergency COVID Fund, and the Suffolk Carers Fund. Those are all ring-fenced funds which have to be used for the purpose that they were given and not put over to a different pot of money. So we also have other areas that we have ring-fenced, and that's the Fitness Club Fund, the Cambridge Community Fund, the Linda Gomez Children's Book Donation, Celebration Day, and school events with Tesco's. So there are unrestricted funds amounting to just over 39,000. And as Colin's already said, the decision was taken to be a little bit prudent, bearing in mind we are awaiting the decision from the Big Lottery Fund, and we still don't know quite when the pandemic will be coming to an end. And we wanted to make sure the charity could be sustainable through this and forward on for many years to come. So we do have obviously outgoings that we have every month, which is usually to do with marketing, postage, wages, and they are pretty fixed most months. There are other things that crop up from time to time that we have to set funds aside for. And at the moment, Colin and I set up the payments, and one will authorise and then one of us will second authorise, and that's working really well with the bank currently. It does mean, of course, that not one person can go on and take funds away, which is why we have the two people to authorise if anyone's wondering. So it's so that we can be clear and transparent. We do have plans for the future. And in 2021 and into 22, Stillbones team and trustees will work together towards securing multi-year funding to provide longer term stability and future growth planning. Providing the restrictions for coronavirus begin to lift, we will relaunch 3 to 5 local hubs, and a fitness club. And as Colin said, we really hope to be doing face-to-face Christmas parties and celebration days and other events. We do need to recruit more family mentor volunteers as we grow our reach across the UK. And we can just sit back and know that Emma's done an absolutely amazing job with other grants, other funding, working together with the National Lottery. And I know some of the other trustees have been involved in that as well. I don't think any more could have been done. So everything is crossed for the positive outcome, which we know will happen. And as soon as that does, I'm sure Emma will be shouting from the rooftops. So really just to say that the trustees declare that everything above, as said with the finances, has been declared as a true indication of the funds that are available, and very happy that we can move forward into the 2021-22 year. If anyone has any questions, happy to answer now, and if not quite sure of the exact information, we'll get the information to you as quickly as possible.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Billy.
One question. Do the COVID trusts, do they have to be used by a set time?
You'll find that some of the funds will give you a very specific set period of time in which they have to be spent. And at that point, at the closing point, you are then expected usually to send off a kind of a thank you, and this is how it was spent, this is how our members benefited. Others have a much more fluid approach, but usually they will want to have funds spent by a certain time. With the COVID grant, because obviously we're not quite sure of the end date of COVID itself, there's probably a little bit more fluidity, so that if every single penny hasn't been spent by the time that they thought they should be spent by, there's probably some rollover time. And with some of the grants, in fact, you're asked if you'd like to apply for a top-up, because COVID has gone on for a little bit longer than most people had originally envisaged. So Emma will know in advance whether it's a project that has to be spent kind of in the blink of an eye, whether it's a 3-month, a 6-month, or a yearly project. And Emma's very good at then ring fencing the funds to be released at certain times, because we already know what the money needs to be spent on.
It's very specific, those fundings. It's money in, money out. It doesn't hang about for very long. So we just actually secured another £6,000 of Suffolk Community Foundation, but they're not calling it COVID funding anymore. They're calling it the heart. We just got we literally just got notice about it last Friday, I think last Thursday, and that will just be, that is grants, pure grants. That it's not money to families. It's we buy vouchers of fuel or food vouchers, and that's £6,000 going directly to Suffolk families in the next couple of weeks, and that will all be out and spent before Christmas, because we'll just, I think there's 50 families that's going to in Suffolk that will be spent on. So for but that doesn't need to be spent until the end of March, but we know that winter's going to be really tough, so we just want to get it out there before Christmas. But some of the money, the reason why some of the money is left over, these are the accounts from the end of March, and we secured, I can't quite remember when it was. Do you remember, guys? I think we secured the third final bit of COVID funding in February, and it had to, so the money only came in March, and we didn't finish spending it till September. So some of it just hangs around sometimes, particularly for that one. The summer one was a bit of a funny one, because some people wanted to save it for stuff in the September, if you know what I mean. It's very much up to the people who receive it, but trustees all agree the awards as well. In fact, Billy helped you helped put together the system for that, Billy, didn't you?
Yeah, so yeah, we kind of looked, and we had to actually be very, very specific about who it was going to and why. A lot of grants don't want to have a lot of information. They just need to have a general overview of how you're going to use the money for an event or a person or a laptop or training opportunities, etc. But for that particular one, it had to be very, very specific with the amounts going to each family. And Emma and I were happy to sit and do it because it meant huge amount of help and money and assistance could go to individual families according to their need. Other times, like with this hardship fund, it will be maybe a set amount to each family that's identified, regardless of size of family, what their actual current need is. So you just have to be flexible really with the grants, and some of them are very paperwork heavy, but for the amount of grant awarded is more than, you know, the grant amount makes it very worthwhile to put that extra paperwork time in.
That's better, I mean, that's good though that you have to do all that because it looks better as well.
Yeah.
More professional.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And the more that you do the grants, the grant applications, you do kind of realise what people are looking for, and you understand the paperwork behind it. And the more successful you are with getting the grants and spending them appropriately and reporting back, you can build that into future grants so that perhaps it might be a new person gifting a grant. They'll have a lot more belief that you know exactly what you're doing, you know exactly how to administer everything. So it does help. The more you do it, the easier, slightly easier it becomes then to get bigger and more long-lasting funding. So it's the first couple of times you do it, it seems quite overwhelming, but once you get into the swing of it, it's good. It's all good.
Okay, cool.
All right,
Thanks,
anybody,
Billy.
anybody else got any more questions? No? Okay, that's great. Thank you, Billy. Right, next is for the
We just need, sorry, Colin, we just need to propose and
oh,
adopt.
sorry, yeah. Of
And I
course we do.
always get those bits, but yeah, propose and second.
Can I have
Big
a
caps.
proposal? for the
Lee, do you want to
council, please?
propose it? Shout it out, Lee.
Yeah, propose.
Right. Would someone like to second it for me?
Second it.
Thank you, Gary.
Ah,
That's that done. Okay, thank you for that. Right, next on the agenda is the re-election of trustees. So we'll start off with me if anybody would like to nominate me, or if anybody wants to stand for
Lee, you
trustee.
don't.
I don't want to stand, but I'm very happy to propose you, Colin.
Thank you very much.
And Lee will second it.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Thank you. Right, so vice chairman, I don't know if Lee's prepared to carry on doing it.
You all right carrying on doing it, Lee?
Yeah, happy to do it.
Again, I'm happy to propose that.
There we go. That's Billy.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Caroline, are you happy to carry on now, Caroline?
Yes, if you want me to.
Yes, of course we do. So I will nominate Caroline.
I'll
Somebody.
second Caroline.
Thank you very much. Adam, are you still with us? Or has he gone?
Yep, still here and happy
Oh.
to continue.
You're happy to continue. Thank you.
Lovely. And Lee second it.
Yeah, second it.
Oh, sorry, Colin. I assumed you were proposing it. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll propose it. Yeah.
Oh, did. Oh, sorry. Yeah, and Lee said he will second.
Right. And Mark, but he's not here, so I don't know what we do about that.
Well, I think we can do it in his. Oh, who said? Is someone saying something?
You can
no, that's
propose
me.
him. You can propose him in his absence, as long as he agrees in retrospect, and that's added onto
Yeah.
your minute.
Okay, let's do that then, Colin.
Okay. Well, I'll propose Mark then. If somebody could second it for me.
Yeah, I'll
Lee.
second.
I'll second it.
Oh yeah, or Billy. Yeah. And then obviously
Okay.
our honorary treasurer. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Billy.
And Billy,
She's
are you happy
happy.
to carry on as treasurer?
Yeah, very happy to
Thank
carry
you.
on.
Well, I'll propose you.
Thank you,
And
Bill.
if somebody-
And
there
Lee
we go.
seconded, or Caroline, which yeah.
Okay, that's lovely. Thank you very much. That's
Oh,
that done.
marvellous. Oh, wonderful. That's great news.
Next thing, I'll hand over to Emma because it's the volunteers presentation.
Fantastic. Thank you very, very much, Colin and trustees. Really, really appreciate that. So yeah, we've got the really important stuff done, and now even more important things to do. And thank our volunteers. We're actually at 60 volunteers now, would you believe it, since that report was written. So they are growing, and people, we're not even proactive recruiting, people are coming to us, and we're incredibly grateful for those people who want to help us do more. So thank you to all our volunteers, and that includes all of our amazing trustees. Massive thank you to you all, and to everyone to make Stillbones happen, really, because you are the lifeblood of Stillbones. It's not possible without you. And you don't need to do anything big. It's from sending a letter, packing some envelopes, to being a trustee. You know, it goes from all sorts. So huge thank you. I'm really disappointed in this picture, and I'll read it out to you. I just found it and I couldn't find any better one. I should have just written it out myself, actually. But a volunteer appreciation poem: the key to our success rests in people like you who embody the spirit of greatness by saying, yes, I can, and you can too. I read that, and that for me just sums up entirely what Stillbones volunteers are all about. You're all champions. So thank you. I just wanted to share with you, I think I normally send these round to people, but it's just a nice occasion to share some of the highlights of some of the feedback that we've had from the packs that you have helped us send out, support packs, rainbow wellbeing packs, all sorts. And some of these comments are just, you know, unbelievable, really. Whenever I'm having a bit of a down moment, I always put them on. And yeah, I just think it's very special, very, very special. So thank you very, very much for getting this done. I'm just going to flick through. Oh, these are... Who's that? Is that... I think that might be Colin's phone. Hold on a minute. He's just...
Oh, it's mine.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's yours, Rosemary. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, no worries. Bless you. I couldn't work out who to mute. That was what I was just trying to figure out. That's fine, as long as you're right.
Yeah, Lily's got it.
Okay, great, brilliant. So yeah, this is from, if you remember, we're literally about to do this on Friday again with Christmas jumpers, mince pies, Christmas music. We'll be doing it together, guys, this year. I can't wait. I seriously can't wait. It's going to be very exciting. But those are just some of the, I didn't put them all up. There's seriously heaps of them, which I have to say to all our amazing families who send in the comments, I can't tell you how much it means, because you've all got 1,000,001 things to do, but to be able to send our volunteers that after they have spent a whole day, or you know, packing and doing bits and pieces, is really special. So your feedback is worth its weight. Well, literally, as it says here, worth its weight in gold. This was one of my favourite ones. Thank you very much. Just knowing that someone cares is worth its weight in gold, and I'm sure we can all relate to that, can't we? Especially in the last few months. I think I'm just going to show you one more. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on. Come on. Oh, it won't change the slide. Hang on a minute, guys. Oh, come on. You were doing fine a minute ago. That's it. Wicked. Yeah, so there's just some more here as well. Some really lovely comments. Thank you for sharing them with us, sending them in, and thank you volunteers for making it happen. I just want to shout, I'm going to do, you'll all be getting something soon, but there's something else that's been really special that's developed. One of our family mentors, who is called Wendy, and she will absolutely hate this, but it's really, really important that we take time to do this. And I know she's going to be putting a pillow up above her head and all sorts at the moment, but Wendy is our legal and benefits buddy because she refused to be called a superhero. So our legal and benefits buddy, Wendy, has been doing an extraordinary job in really helping our families with benefits. And I think it's a real big sign of the times. This has always been a big thing for us. We've always had benefit issues. Wendy used to work for the Citizens Advice Bureau. She's an amputee herself. She gets it, totally gets it. And she knows what a absolute craziness the DWP can be. With all due respect, I think we know it is madness. Wendy, since December 2019, has helped 43 families with benefit inquiries. I'd like to remind you that Wendy is a volunteer. It's absolutely extraordinary, the work that she's been doing. And she often, I mean, you know, it takes a long time to do this work, a long time. So Wendy, really wholehearted, huge thanks you for making this happen. I know you'll hate this, but it's very important that we take time. And Angela, who is our wonderful note taker, has just been such a superstar for us. I wonder if we can just formally note that vote, put that as a vote of thanks into the notes, if possible, from everyone at Steel Bones, because as you can see from these messages here, it has been extraordinary, the impact that it's had. So thank you, Wendy. Really appreciate that. And I'll stop embarrassing you now. You will hate it. She will absolutely hate it. But it was much needed. Before I go on to the actual bit of the main bit of the thank you, I just want to say a little bit about the Carers Empowerment Pilot Programme, which, as I said, it was an absolute honour to launch this in our 5th birthday. I can't think of a better way to celebrate our 5th birthday than actually fully encompassing the family. This has been a huge success for us. We've greatly enjoyed it. Suffolk Community Foundation have called the results exceptional, and the case studies truly superb in terms of how we have all worked together as a group with the carers. We don't like it being called carers. We still haven't quite got to the bottom. Colin, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, good. Sorry, I just got a bit worried. I'd suddenly gone out there. Okay, that's fine.
No, yeah.
Okay, good. So these are some of the words that when the carers first started working with us, they used. Maybe let's just call them family members, I think we should call it family members, but for the sake of the fund, it's called a carers support fund, you know, but the family members use these words to describe the first 3 months of working with us on the family members empowerment pilot. And these are some of the results when we compared. We did regular wellbeing surveys, and you can see the results that were felt from October 2020 to August 2021. It is a Suffolk-based programme. We are working, providing we get lottery funding or extra funding, we want to roll this out nationally. It will take some time to do that. It's going to take a while to pull the funds together, but you know, it's had huge impact. So we want to do that. Probably one of the most important ones for us is 100% feel less alone and more able to cope. And that is what it's all about, really, isn't it? In any group that we are part of, we feel like that, and I think that's hugely important. Let me just move. Yeah, brilliant. It's working. Excellent. Yeah, these are just some of the other words that they use to. This was at the end of the programme. We do a lot of comparative data like that just to help us check, especially with a new programme, to make sure we are doing it in the right way, because although we've lived it ourselves, it's very important just to keep on top of that. So yeah, you can see what some of the family members said here, which is really important stuff. So yeah, thank you very much to everyone who made that programme happen. And yeah, as I say, thank you to all our amazing volunteers. Absolutely incredible. You will all be getting your certificate of appreciation, and this year you're getting a superstar pin badge. I couldn't get a picture of it on its own, but yeah, you're getting a magic star. It's coming soon, I promise you. So yeah, can't thank you enough. Really, cannot thank you enough, and cannot wait to have some Christmas fun with some of you on Friday. So yeah, I think that's it. Colin, did you want to add anything to the volunteers? I'm hoping I said everything I should have.
No, I think you've mentioned it all. You know, as I know somebody who's benefited from this, and she's found it very enjoyable, joining the group and talking to other people. So I think, yes, it's worked really well, and just, you know, thank you to Suffolk for, you know, allowing us to do this.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Yeah,
As Emma said,
definitely.
hopefully, you know, if we get this lottery funding, we will be able to, you know, spread it out further around, which I think
Yeah.
will help a lot of people.
A massive, and also just, I should have said at the end of the account, just a massive thank you to all our supporters and all those grant programs. And it's been a real privilege to work with them on doing the programs. You know, all of the funders have been really engaged with us. We've learned a lot through it as well. So yeah, it's massive thank you to our trustees, our management committee, our volunteers, and to the funders, because quite simply, without the funding, none of it happens whatsoever. So thank you.
And well done to Emma for securing the funding, because I know the paperwork's a lot, you know, a lot to go through, and I've seen the paperwork and it's just endless stuff. So I don't know how she does it so well. So big thank you to Emma as well.
It's all good fun. It's all good fun. Thank you very, very much.
Okay, right, that's that done. Next on the agenda is the accessibility in the UK. I think we sent out a survey, did we, Emma?
Yeah, we did.
Do you want to, you know a bit more about this than me, so
Yeah. Yeah, no worries. We'll talk through it a bit, and then we'd really welcome people's thoughts on it. So yeah, I'll just talk you through. It's very interesting. This is something that we hear about all the time, all the time. People say, oh, I couldn't do this, there was no disabled toilet open there, or I had to, God, this place was really, really good, oh my gosh. And we just hear about it and then we never do anything about it. So we wanted to open up the forum on it because we want to see what you guys would like us to do about it. I'm really keen for the trustees to hear, because these are they will hear some of it, but these are conversations we have practically almost every day with families, and then we can try and work out how best to help it. Actually, all kicked off. I don't even know if he's on. Let me just double check if he's still here, and I hope he won't. Yeah, Neil is still here, and I really hope he won't. He was public about it, so I'm pretty sure he won't mind me saying. But he had, I'm just double checking, making sure he's all right. He had an experience with a theme park, and it was not a good experience. And he's actually working with them and has put us in touch with them. And they have, as a result of that, they have now, they're doing an investigation as to how the rides can be more prosthetic friendly. And that lady was actually, they're doing, it's not starting to the new year, but we contacted that lady to try and come here and talk to us. She works with Merlin Entertainment Parks to come to talk to all of you and learn from it. But because the work isn't happening to the new year, she said, can you do it next year? And we were like, okay, but we'll do it as soon as you can. We won't wait until the AGM. But anyway, the conversation has started, you know, and because of that, and because of the different situation we've got, I think it's something that we all just accept as disabled families. You know, we all just kind of go, okay, yeah, that's just the way it is. Buildings are old. What can they do? Water parks are water parks. What can they do with that? Yeah, but that can be part of it, absolutely. But we thought, let's see what you all thought. And this is what you thought. So 63% of our respondents do not regularly visit days out or attractions in the UK. And the top reason for not attending was inaccessibility. The second was they don't want to. And I can guarantee you that that is partly due to energy, partly due to money. Oh, yes, and Neil was saying, the lady from Alton Town, she does like to postpone things. Yeah, we're going to get on to her as soon as we can, Neil. But huge well done for getting into the, you know, getting a response. It's slow, but huge well done for getting this to them. Some of you might remember from last year, Neil is, I hope you don't mind me sharing, Neil. I should have talked to you about this before, touched base with you before, but Neil is a double amputee surgeon. Doing incredible things, as all the NHS are doing right now. So for him to have a day out with his family, for that to be ruined, it was fairly, you know, just not on, really. And I think it's amazing that, yes, it's a slow conversation, but let's keep beating the door, as they say. And thank you for getting us involved in that conversation as well. And only 18%, which only 80% stated they had been able to hire a mobility scooter. So I thought that was quite interesting. The rest of them just took their own. Oh dear, I think it stopped working again. Hold on. They just took their own. There we go. So yeah, what places have you been disappointed in? This was really interesting. So fun fairs, yeah, have to say, you know, and please put in any comments in the comment box about anything you don't agree with or you do agree with. What we just want to get it open really and see what we should be doing, and we'll tell you a little bit about suggested plans in a moment. Woburn Coffee House, that's got to be near Milton Keynes, I think. The Woburn, that must be Woburn Safari Park, mustn't it? It must be.
It's near Milton Keynes.
Yes, thank you, Rosemary. That's exactly. Had no disabled toilet. Toilets were upstairs. We weren't told when booking. I know that story. I think that was for an afternoon tea. Pretty shocking. Highclere Castle, would you believe it? But again, it comes in. I mean, Dover Castle as well. They are well buildings. I'm keen to hear what people think about that. Is that just an excuse? Is it acceptable, or do we need to ask them to do more? You know. Everywhere is okay if you drive. I thought that was a really important point. Yeah, you can. I'm not going to read them all out. You can see theme parks, water parks, Shambles York. I think that must mean York is a shambles, unless there is a place called Shambles in York.
Yeah,
Yes, there is. There's a street
Yeah.
called the Shambles.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm not not very good on my geography, and I don't often go to York. But yeah, this one as well. Tend to find it is certain activities such as train rides or tractor rides that are inaccessible. And this, I thought, some old buildings this person would like to go to, and he'd like to do fishing, but he can't get down to the water. So, yeah, as you can see, loads of different. Now, this was the positive experiences, which I thought was brilliant. We all were just brilliant. The Chelsea Flower Show. I've never been there, but isn't that great to know? So one of the ideas we are thinking is having a blog of gold star places to visit. We're not talking about making a big thing of it, just literally a blog of list of places that our families tell us, we loved this place, it was great. You know, now one interesting thing about that, someone has put Legoland was very inclusive, and it was all anonymous, so I don't know who's written this. I have to say, it can be, yes, but actually anyone who's read our little book, the Still Bones book, it's actually about Legoland, and not that they're aware of that. Lee, I am right in thinking that, aren't I? Is it about Legoland? Oh God, sorry. It is at Legoland, and you get stuck up the hill. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sorry, guys, just suddenly had a moment. Was it Haunted House? But yeah, it's Legoland, and on the way, the train didn't work. You know that train that's there, and we had to go up the big windy hill, and Lee got stuck in his mobility scooter up that hill, and people were very kind. They helped us, and the kids were pushing him as well. They were only young then, but. Yeah, I think it's what I'm trying to say is it's different. People have different experiences, and we're all very different, as we know. We all have different needs, so I think we've got that going on as well. But I don't know whether you might like a kind of gold star award. It might just be nice for us to keep a record of places that find Blue Water Shopping Centre. If anyone fancies Christmas shopping, might be a good place to go to. But yeah,
The thing is though, Emma, it is bad really when you have to do all this.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you should do it because they need to be you know, shown that they're not good. Because there's money in it. There's money for them to do that.
Yeah, I know. Well, they've got, if you think of Merlin, oh, Neil, you've raised your hand. Go for it. If you think of Merlin, they should, you know, it is shocking, really, isn't it? Sorry, Neil, go on.
Oh, no, I was going to say, thank you, Emma. That's amazing for you taking this on. I actually didn't realise how bad things were. I think the thing that got me was sort of being realistic, there are going to be places that it's just impossible to get to or
Yes.
do. It's, you know, that's just a fact. But
Mm.
the thing that really annoyed me was the lack of information on the websites. They all say, oh, it's very accessible, or but it doesn't specifically say anything. And the problem I got with that particular theme park was they said, oh, it's suitable for amputees and prosthetic users. But then when you read the small print, it said, but only if you take your prosthetics off or they're attached to your skeleton. You know, so how many people have osseointegrated
Oh, that's ridiculous.
prosthetics in this country? So, and I was trying to explain to them that being a double amputee, I can take my prosthetics off, but I'm then a weeble. I can't move anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't really fancy doing it in front of everybody. And that was sort of my point. So they can say, oh, we cater, and they might have a ramp there, or they might have somebody trained to do it, but the actual practicalities of it were just a bit rubbish. I
Yeah.
don't know if anybody has similar thoughts.
Well,
Yeah.
basically, it shouldn't actually be on yourself that all of a sudden you're in the limelight. It should be just a natural progression, shouldn't it?
Well, it's very interesting you even say that, Gary, because one of the ones that really stuck in my head, hold on, let me just see where it is. I'll come back to this one in a minute. Hold on. Yeah, look at this. Please, and all of these responses are anonymous. I don't know who sent them. Please tell us anything else regarding your experiences, right? Someone here, hold on, let me just find it. I meant to highlight it, and then of course it didn't. Hold on a minute. Oh, wait a second. Where is it? Yeah, look. I'm a recent amputee, but have been a chair user for 3.5 years since being in a chair. I'm almost a recluse now, as we travel to places to either come back as they are not accessible, or I end up sitting in the car. And there is another one here that you guys might see, and it's not sticking out to me now, but they say something like, I feel, yeah, sorry.
Come on down, Emma.
That's
Second one down. Third one.
Sometimes I feel that I am an inconvenience when I can't get somewhere I would like to. Other times, and this is so true, I think. Other times people go out of the way to make sure you have a great, it's hit and miss, isn't it? That's the thing, it's totally hit and miss. But it's pretty damning when you've got people writing this and feeling like this, and family days out can be the best medicine people need to just feel like they can continue. Really. So, yeah, I think when I saw your post, Neil, we had a similar experience, but at a water park. And I know it might be a bit ambitious to make a water park. So I'm trying to be reasonable about that. Obviously, it is, you know, I don't expect Lee to have. I don't think Lee would want to have a lift up to the top of the water slide. I think that would be his worst nightmare. But and I get some, like you say, Neil, some places just are the way they are, the castles, you know, but surely there has to be somewhere, and surely if there are places like that, but surely the places that aren't like that should absolutely be it. Now, one picture I've totally forgotten to put in. Oh, that's such a, I've thought of this on Saturday and I've totally forgotten. I'm sorry, guys, but I will share it after. Some of you in the Still Bones group will have seen it. One of our family's dads is in Dubai, and there's an entrance there, and it says people of determination entrance rather than the disabled entrance, which I thought was great. That's just turning the disability on its head, isn't it? You know, if we can have a bit more positive attitude rather than, like you say, Neil, oh, well, you can go on it, but this, and this, rather just, you know, as I say, I haven't quite figured out the right words that you say, but, you know, it's really, really important that we have that. So, yeah.
There is a Facebook group, Emma, called People of Determination in Dubai. And it's amazing, yeah. It's on Facebook, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Dave, do you want to share it? Lee, can you just shut that? The Lee, the aeroplane, the planes. Dave, did you want to share something?
I was just to say, like, I mean, I know one of the comments on the previous page was mine, where I said about when I went to Great Yarmouth, and it wasn't, there was no mention of disability, special needs, accessibility. We were called VIPs.
Yeah,
And
that's
as stupid
right.
as that sounds,
Yeah.
it was so nice to be, oh, no worries, mate, you need to go round through the VIP entrance.
Yeah, I love that.
And it was like, oh, yeah. And he just straight away took us round. It was me and my daughter, obviously, like she's in a wheelchair. And then straight away it was like, oh, who else are you with? Yeah, no worries. Get them to come round. I'll try and get them next to you know, you next to each other. And it was so nice to not hear any mention of disability, special needs and that. Whereas a lot of time you go to places and straight away it's, oh, so you want a disabled access, or, oh, sorry, yeah, disabled access right the way around the corner, or the special needs entrance is around there. And it's like, well, no, you know, I'm a normal person. I've just got a metal leg. It's,
Yeah, okay, let's do. Would
There
everyone?
are, no,
Sorry?
that mirrors what used to be, and I haven't been there for some years, but the case in Disneyland in Paris.
Mm,
The only point where disability was mentioned was at the entrance, where you were asked to go and register with them.
yeah,
When you registered with them, you were given a VIP badge, and after that, you were just referred to as a VIP.
it's such a simple thing, but would you all agree? Is there anyone, and please disagree, like don't, is there anyone that would resent being that sort of, would you think that's one of the first things we could suggest to places, that actually call up, you know, VIPs, or give the example of the people of determined? What would anyone think? Oh, I don't want to be called anything special. Does anyone have that
the
thinking?
thing with that is, I think some people don't like being called disabled. Some people like
Yeah.
to be called what their disability is. See, I'm not
Mm.
disabled, I'm an amputee.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, but then the trouble is then you've got, you know, there's so many different names and everything else for everybody, isn't it? It's, you know, what do you want to be called? You know,
Well-
like they'll see your leg and you'll be like, oh, you're an amputee. But then you might have other issues as well. And it's like, it's quite a difficult one to
It is, isn't it? Yeah,
individually label.
Alice wouldn't like it. Yeah, it is a label. It is a funny.
But the
Yeah.
advantage of VIP, it doesn't, it's anonymous as to what you, to anyone else around.
Why
Mm,
you, yeah, why you've got
You might
it.
just be a celebrity.
Exactly, you might have the money,
They haven't recognised.
like you, Steve. Like you, Steve.
Yes.
exactly.
I just feel that I don't want attention brought to myself. I just want it to just be done. Just go in. Everybody else queues up, goes in without a fuss. Why do we have to have a fuss to get in somewhere, basically?
Yeah.
We could have whatever. It's just, you know, it's just making us different again.
It's difficult. Sometimes you can get to things, you don't need the fuss. Other times,
You can't get there.
or they need to, for example, on some of the rides, the shuttles or whatever it is, you know, don't actually stop. They just slow down and people get on, and it's very difficult for a disability. But for some of us with certain disabilities, they need to actually stop the train for a few seconds to let you get on and off. So sometimes we do require special treatment, and
Yeah.
it's good that they take the effort to give you that. And I mean, I don't like standing out, and I don't like being made overly much of a fuss of, but I also know that I'm almost a nuisance to myself or other people if I don't actually accept help where help is needed and is being freely offered.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a
Got
bit-
another one. I remember a few years ago we went to Peppa Pig World or Paulton's Park,
Yes.
and we joined the queue for the log flume. Now, me being me, I was in my shorts, so everybody could see my leg. Got right away to the front of the queue, and the guy was like, "You can't come on here." So, why not? Oh, you got, because of your leg, it doesn't stop. I was like, "That's fine. I can get in it and I can get out of it." No, you can't go on it. So my response was, well, if I had jeans on, you wouldn't know, would you? It was like,
Exactly.
no.
This is what Neil was saying about Alton
So,
Towers. and-
surely I can get into, like, what's the
Yeah.
issue? If I had my jeans on, you wouldn't know. I would have
Yeah.
gotten in.
And that was
Oh.
his response.
He let me on in the end. I don't think he was only like a young 16, 17-year-old, so he probably didn't want an argument with an
No.
adult. But I
No.
was just like, yeah, I'm willing to give it a go. Like, there's a 15
Yeah.
meter bit that I've got time to get on. As long as you get out of my way when I try and jump out of it, we're all right.
There is something quite interesting as well, and I think Neil's going to say this as well in a minute. One of the issues with Alton Towers that he found, I'll let you, Neil, maybe explain, but is the insurance problems. There's something to do with the insurance, and they've got themselves quite confused with what they need to do and what they shouldn't. I think they're all a bit antsy. Neil, could you say anything more about that?
Yeah, because that was always the excuse that kept coming back to me. But I completely agree with what the last chap was saying. They somehow don't let you do your own risk assessment because, you know, I'm pretty mobile on my legs. And again,
Yeah.
if I had my trousers on, I could have jumped on the ride and nobody would have been none the wiser. So the insurance thing, you know, it to me, it just seemed really convenient and a really easy way for them to wriggle out of it. And the reason I say that is that they're just, some places are just amazing. So you can't, you know, I can't work out why some would not be insured and others would. It's clearly, there's a lack of will there somewhere, I think, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that's what gets annoying. You don't want to, I don't know, I hope you all, I think you will all feel the same. It's actually not to do with what you can and can't do. It's to do with that lack of will. I mean, I certainly know if I know someone is not willing to try and ensure that everything is open to you guys, or if we're out on a day out, then I start to get quite antsy about that. And I think that's where it comes from, is that if you feel there's no lack of will, if you feel they're thinking, oh, this is too hard to try and work out, we'll just leave it and it will be fine. I don't know if you all agree, but that's kind of how I feel about it. I feel at least try. If people are shown to try, that's really important.
I mean, like Neil just said, it's about whoever it is, like doing that own risk assessment. I mean, I got told once I couldn't go on a ride because if it got stuck at the top, I wouldn't be able to get down the ladder. Believe me, I could probably get down the ladder quicker than anybody else that would have been on there. So, you know, surely, I know it's quite difficult if they get you to do your own risk assessment because you've done the journey to get there, you've paid the entrance fee, you're going to want to go on every ride, whether it's safe or not. But they need to, you know, realise that most of us are stubborn, and if your leg's covered, a lot of us, they're not going to know. They're just going to think, oh, you limp a little bit, you've hurt your leg, or, you know, they're not going to think that there's an actual disability.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other thing is, though, Dave, what would they have done if somebody was sick on the ride? They would stop it, wouldn't they?
I don't know if they would.
Yeah, it's.
I think we've been on a ride when someone's been sick.
I know they've got to clean it. They've got to clean it, so they'll stop it. So
Yeah.
what's the issue?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, guys, these are some of the really lovely, well, just great. These are some people's favourite places here. I've never heard of Westonbirt Arboretum. I don't know if anyone has been there. But yeah, these are all lovely things to do. So yeah, one of the things we might start to do, if I can move this, oh yeah, here we go, there we go. And these are, as I said, we looked at this earlier, but I think we went through all of that as well. But yeah, I think some of the things we were thinking of with our little coffee catch-up group was that because this also kicked off a conversation. Do you remember at COP when the Israeli, I believe it was the Israeli minister, I can't quite remember the country now, but I'm sure it was the Israeli minister could not get into COP.
Yes.
And we all felt that was pretty hideous. For a world convention with every leader there. I mean, I laugh. I shouldn't really, because it is a bit crazy, isn't it? So we were thinking, and again, we haven't probably broached this with the trustees, but we would very much like to, I think, write a letter to the disability minister and to the COP president, Alok Sharma, just to raise our concerns. We've never got a response from the disability minister before, but they've changed every kind of 6 months lately. So you never know, we might have a good one this time. And I just think always a letter is always worth it, even an email, you know, just to at least state something, carefully worded, obviously. We're not here to cause arguments, we just want to raise it and make sure that our voices are being heard as families with amputees. You know, it's really important, I think. So that's one of the things. Oh, sorry, my cat's just getting away. Another one of the things we thought of doing is this gold star, and I don't want that to sound patronising or anything like that, but maybe think of a different name for it, but just a list of places that all our Steel Bones families have enjoyed going to. I'm keen to also do that and do a black mark list. However, we need to check out the legal to make sure we're not going to get done for defamatory claims and all of that. But if we, you know, we can deal with that. But is that something that people would find useful? Just really keen to. I mean, it's just sharing experiences, really. Just really keen to see what you guys think on that.
Emma?
Yeah.
You have to be very careful putting black marks or other things on there.
Yeah,
But
I thought.
the way that most of these places, when like TripAdvisor or others, when they're assessing places,
Yes.
they do it with damning with faint praise. They only give, you know, if a place has only got 1 star, you know, it's pretty rubbish. But it's still got a star, so they can't actually claim they've been that you're doing them down. But so maybe we need a number of
stars
or something, or even blue badges or something to say, very accessible, this is not so accessible, beware, you know.
Yeah, I like that. So that, yeah, so once, yes, we're not saying these places are awful, avoid at your absolute most. Yeah, maybe it is just a star
Not as good as
system.
some of the others, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it would just be a simple blog chart that would be updated every month for any Trustpilot idea. Yeah, exactly, Chris. Yeah. And it just be, but I would certainly, I have to say, because this summer, again, and maybe this has come out much more because of the staycations, but we were looking for places to go. And as I say, water park probably wasn't the best idea, but also Lee wasn't in, he was waiting for that operation. So it's not as if we were going to be doing a lot anyway, do you know what I mean? So it worked out quite fine, but it was just interesting. And the fact that I think Neil had that experience almost the week before or the week of, I can't quite remember now, but all of that combined. And then Dave, you were messaging me, we were talking about quite a few things. In fact, Dave, where's that place that had that really good sign? Do you remember that sign? And we went, oh, that's a lovely way to put it. I think it's on a blog somewhere. I think I took I can't quite remember it, but I think it was Great Yarmouth, Dave.
I think it was over that way somewhere, wasn't it? I can't remember.
Yeah, and it was really, can you remember what it said? It said something like, oh, didn't it say something like Metal Welcome or something?
I think so, yeah. I'll have to see.
We can't quite remember, but again, we've got the picture on our website. So, but yeah, maybe it's just a star chart. I love that idea, Steve, and just a list of them, and then and it would just be something very personal. Well, not personal, but very Steel Bonesy. Just be experiences by Steel Bones families. Just because I would love to look at that list when I'm planning summer days out, and go, right, okay, let's try this one. People say this is good, so. Yeah, okay, well, we'll have it's good for the trustees to hear this because we can then talk about it with them and see how best to go about it. The other thing that I was thinking we could do is that when people have a very bad experience, we would have a standard email that we would just send to that organised, that place, like the coffee house, the Woburn Coffee House. It would just be a very simple one. It wouldn't be too heavy-handed, but it would just say, we work with this family. We have heard of a recent experience. We understand your communication with them, but we'd like to know how we can support you in finding an accessible way. And Adam, thank you. I've seen your message, so I meant to refer to it earlier about that. oh, you've put another one up now as well, about Adam actually, they owns Tuddenham Nurseries. They have a coffee shop in there, and he's just said, you probably can all see, but he's said he's really keen to you know, have an audit. I know the access card do that as well, so that maybe we work with them on some parts of this. And Adam's just put up, could we approach theme parks section to ask if they're, oh yeah, oh Adam, I love this, if they'll allow a family a day out for a blog to provide them with feedback. I think a lot of places adhere to the DDA rules, but they're probably quite basic. Yes, yeah, Adam, I think that's really useful perspective from you as a businessman as well, because yeah, they probably are quite basic. And as we said earlier, you know, it does rely on, we have lots of different needs, don't we? Lots of different, particularly.
Can I add something?
Yeah, please do.
Sorry, it's Caroline. I just wondering, I think the email is a good idea, but before you said that, I was wondering if maybe we could have like a template letter that we could send to a member if they'd had a bad day out. And also wondering if we had the backing of the other amputee charities so that it could come from the Alliance.
That's a great idea.
Because that would be more powerful.
Yeah.
And still Bones isn't, but if it came from the 3 amputee groups,
yeah,
and we could always put in the letter, and you know, we have copied this letter to the MP for disability. Just, you know, we could just have a template letter that members could use. We look forward to your response on the above matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And it would just be very simple. I think if we can just get a process in approved by trustees and get it set up, it would just be every month, who are we writing to, right? And then the following month it's like, who do we need to chase? Because a lot of this is, as we all know with everything, a lot of it is just chasing to get an answer. But I think that's a great idea. I had not really clocked that, but yeah, to use the backing of the Alliance as well, and to copy those to the Disability MP. As I say, we never get a response from disability. We probably only send, you know, it's not that was written to them a lot. Probably about 4 emails, would you say, Lee? I think we sent to Disability MP. It's not many. So, but it will be good to build that. So yeah, that's good. Okay, that sounds, I like this. We've got some good actions going, and family, family day. Yes.
I did find, I haven't found the one we're on about, but I did find the one I took from Adventure Island down in Southend.
Yes.
They had the sign that said, this is a disabled friendly ride with carer suitable for most disabilities, which I thought was really good. But underneath there's a big picture of a figure with a red line through it, not suitable for guests with severe limb amputations.
Oh, that's it. That's right. That's what it was, wasn't it, Dave? I've forgotten. I've mixed up with them. Yeah. So Dave messaged me saying, is my amputation severe? Or is it? Can they see it? I can't see you, but hopefully
you can see it. But yeah, that was taken at Southend on Adventure Island.
Yeah. Have you all got severe amputations, or?
Yeah, like what you know, what makes it severe? It's
mild, apparently. I think it's quite a severe issue for Lee. But yeah, absolutely. They're yeah, definitely. Oh, thank you, Chris. I know you're heading off now. Thanks so much for coming along. I really appreciate that. Yeah, so okay, that sounds like some really good, because as I say, we can hear these conversations and I suppose we just wanted to check. You might not, some people won't want us to get involved, and we can check that as well, obviously, each time, because people might not feel comfortable with it or just deal with it on the day. But I think it is important, like Neil, that conversation you're having with Alton is really important. You know, they've got totally the wrong end of the stick. I don't know what is going on there, but it is really important that we say, excuse me, what's happening here, and we hold people accountable, you know. We need to make sure our voices are in the decisions. Does anybody else want to add anything to that? Yeah, Neil, keep giving them a tough time. Absolutely. I've still not heard. I emailed her to confirm she did mean next year, which I think she did. Nothing back from them, but the new year I'll certainly will make sure we give them a you know, tough time, definitely. Yeah, and like you say, Neil, you don't mind missing the rides. It's just a pity my kids miss out. And I think that's absolutely key, actually, is that I'm sure you all feel it, as many of you will feel this, that Lee similarly didn't mind missing out on the water. And again, it's the water park, so I understand it's probably a bit of an unreasonable request, but he didn't mind it, and it wouldn't have been suitable for him at that point. But say he was fine and he couldn't do it, it's the kids that miss out him being there with him, or grandkids, you know. And I think that's really important that we try and ensure we're in that conversation. So yeah, just anything you have about this, please do send it through to us. We're starting to compile a bit of an accessibility. As I say, we're not too, we haven't formulated the full plan, but we are formulating it, and it probably won't happen until really certainly next year now. But send stuff to us, and any experiences, we want to hear about it. It's really important that we can do what we can, because unless they talk, and I think one of my key questions would be to Alton Towers, Neil. Apparently is it the director of it's director of customer experience, isn't it, Neil? I think that's in charge of the investigation into how prosthetics can be made safe. And yeah, and one of my key questions to him would be, how many amputees have you spoken to? Because we emailed and said, we have a forum, please come join. They were obviously keen to put that off till next year until they know something, but why are you not talking to us now? Our voices have to be in that arena right now. It's no point bringing us in when you've done all your conversation, you've done all your working out. So anyway, we'll see. And yeah, let us know anything more you have, any good experiences, any bad experiences, please. We would love to know, guys.
Emma,
yeah.
another one thing, I think, as well as highlighting the ones that don't give you a good day out, I think there should also be a letter that you can send that highlights a really good day out. So I think as much as people, they're quick to tell you they've had a bad experience, I think it would be good for some of the companies to realise that, you know, they're doing a good, especially the smaller venues and that. I think they need to know that they've done a really good job, because then they can praise the staff or the family members that run the place.
Yeah, for example, Dave, we could send a letter, and again, it would just be a standard letter we need to formulate, but I'd love to send one to that Yarmouth Wheel that you did.
Yeah, I actually messaged them afterwards.
Yeah.
And said how good they were, because I thought they'd gone above and beyond in my eyes.
But don't you think that says everything? Because I do, and I'm sure everyone else does here, is that when we have a good experience, we go out of our way to let them know. But actually, when it's a bad experience, I'm not saying we don't just sit there and do. I'm not saying that at all, because we don't. We do. We try and do whatever we can. Absolutely.
I think sometimes you expect not to be able to do something, which isn't right, really.
No, it's not right. It's not right, and it's about changing that as well. And as I say, some people won't even want to cause any issues with it. They'll be quite happy. You know what? I can't do that. That's fine, and just get on. But it is part of the family. It's the family experience. It's making sure that the family enjoys it together. It's not just, you know. So yeah,
like Neil said, you know, it's not the whole family misses out.
Yeah,
and it's not fair on them. Yeah, it's not fair on the kids and everything else to miss out just for a lack of accessibility. You know, for the lack of potentially a 1 meter ramp.
Yeah,
you know, really.
1 meter ramp. In fact, someone put here. I won't be able to find it now. But one of the responses was that somewhere it didn't look nice putting a ramp there or something. I'm sorry, I won't be able to find it now, but you might have seen it on the notes.
In Devon, a wheelchair can be a problem.
Yeah, I bet, exactly. And but yeah, you know, can you imagine? And this is a big thing, is in the older places, and we are a country of history, aren't we? Which is amazing. But why? I mean, we love a castle. We absolutely love a castle. We love history in this family. Very rarely do we go to one. And if we do, mainly because has had various operations and whatever else going on, but it's not on actually. It shouldn't be an issue, should it? But I don't know how you convert an old, I have no idea about older buildings, you know.
I'm not sure. Obviously, near us in Essex, we've got Colchester Castle.
Yeah.
I haven't been, but I've been told they have a lift in one of the towers.
Do they really? Well, perhaps
I've been
that's
told, but I haven't been. I don't know if it's just one of those ones that you find in a shop. You know, you have to press and hold the button. But
perhaps
apparently they have.
Okay.
So I'll have to try and get there somewhere, but
yeah, perhaps that's one of our first trips, Dave. I'll write to them. I might write to them as a little tester. I'll make sure the trustees are all right with this, obviously, guys. I might say to them, we have recently been exploring accessibility as a community, and we've heard you have a lift. I don't know what words we'll put, but I'll say, would you be open to allowing one of our families to come and review it? And Dave, you could come up and review it for us.
yeah, I'd go.
It could be like our little first trial of it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, well, that's interesting to know. And if Colchester have got that, why hasn't every other castle got it? Because I'd love that. That would be amazing. Okay, well, anyway, any other ideas, any other people think of places, anything at all, email it, message it, whatever, phone us, do whatever. We want to know. We really want to know. We'll let you know what our final plans are for things. We'll never do anything that you aren't comfortable with or want to back or get excited about or anything like that. So, yeah, we'll let you know as we get on to things. Now, does anyone have any other questions or points about anything you've heard in the AGM? I can't quite believe it. I'm sure you're all probably very shocked. But we are finishing about 40 minutes early. Would you believe it, guys, for a Steel Bones event? I mean, I think the celebration day went on another hour, if not 2 hours. Perhaps this is payback for being so late on that day. I don't know. But if no one else, I mean, obviously you can email us at hello@steelbone.co.uk with any other questions. If you don't, I'll just put that up there now. Or phone us on 01223 734 with any other questions. Colin, I think that's me done with the Excel. I really appreciate all your thoughts. I'm sure, Colin, you appreciate them too.
Definitely, yeah. We've had a great discussion there. So yeah, that's great. So if anybody has any other business before we close the meeting, anybody like to bring anything up at all? Please don't be shy.
And I can't see you, so just put hands up if you do.
Emma, you know the let me just turn my video on. Search it. Hey. Hey. So I was just thinking along the Alton Towers line, I wonder if the person that they actually had the accident that whizzed her leg off, whether she'd have a problem getting on any of the rides.
Do you know what? That's a very good point. And she's been very private since. I tried to make contact with her, but this was very soon after. It might well be worth. I'm sure I've seen her about somewhere.
Might be able to help you on that one, Emma.
Oh, really? Okay, thanks, Caroline. I think, Alice, that's a very good point. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Feeling restrict her, funnily enough, going on any rides.
Yeah. Can you absolutely? Oh yeah, she's been back to Alton. You're right, Neil. She did. I'm sure that's what didn't mention accessibility. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'd forgotten that. I had seen her. I think that's why. That was a couple of years ago, wasn't it? I'm sure it was. And I saw that and I thought, oh, okay. But yeah, we definitely need to ask her thoughts, don't we? Because it happened there. Yeah. Definitely. Okay, that's an excellent point. Thank you, Alice, for that. Really appreciate that. And Alice, we obviously Steel Bones are wishing you well on all your exciting challenges at the moment. All of us at Steel Bones obviously do. Yeah. Exciting times, and I'm glad you're feeling better as well. Bless your heart. They're not been very well at all. Okay, cool. Anything else, guys?
Anything else? No.
No, I think we're good, Colin.
Thank you, everybody, for your. Oh, in a minute, what's that?
Oh, hold on. Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
Oh,
That-
right.
oh, yeah. Have a good Christmas. Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
no. Yes. Yeah, I hope you'll have a lovely Christmas, and let's hope next year, fingers crossed, is better for everybody.
Yeah, I'll just move on to just a date, the first date for your diaries for next year. Well, apart from Celebration Day on the 17th of July. Next AGM is the 21st of November, guys. Oh, and I think we'll actually, not that it matters now, but I think we'll change it. Well, I don't know. We'll discuss that anyway, Colin, won't we?
You having a Christmas party?
Oh, yeah, we've got Christmas camp. Thank you, Sandra. We've got Christmas campfire experience in the Woodlands, which is going to be wonderful. That's on the 4th of December. It's all outdoors because of COVID, obviously. And then we're having a Zoom online party on the 10th of December. There are Christmas packs going out. Now, guys, we've done a stripped back Christmas pack this year, and mainly because we have gone, waiting for funds to come in and things like that. We have gone through budgets, and we also wanted to be, it's like a recycled pack as well and everything. We wanted to be cautious in these times, but I think it's still going to have a lot of fun with it, and thank you to everyone who's put in the puzzles and the craft, and volunteers are getting together on Friday to get those out there along next week and ready, hopefully arriving in time with you for the Zoom Christmas party on the 10th. The Christmas campfire is in Newmarket on the 4th of December. Colin, what else is going on? Are those the main things?
Yes.
There's a couple of coffee catch-ups, but they're local bits.
Can I just say, about letting your guard down? I know, Christine and Colin, Emma, yeah?
Yes.
They've both got COVID. They went to a volunteer meeting, because she was on the meeting with me, but she wore her mask and the other volunteers didn't. They was in whatever room they were in, and, they've got COVID, so... And then Damien's now got COVID. So it's just really, we can't let our guard down. And if we can still do outdoor meetings, that's better, I think, personally.
Yeah, definitely.
Outdoor or Zoom.
Oh, Neil, did you want to raise your... I might not have taken your hand down. Sorry, Sandra, that is... I just see a raised hand. No, I think he's gone. I think he's all right. Yeah, no, he's took it down. It's fine. I just saw it pop up. Sorry. Yeah, no, it's very important. Hence why trustees have decided to do, we were desperate, weren't we, trustees, to do an indoor, absolutely desperate. But this is so that's why as well the packs, it's like a half and half scenario. And yeah, it's just how but the celebration day will be in person on the 17th of July. King's Lynn Group is relaunching with Wendy on in January. I can't quite remember the date. There is a 20th, thank you. Barry St Edmunds Coffee Catcher Group will happen in January. Cambridge and Norwich clinics are restarting in January, but not at the site. It will be off site. So yeah, we've got those things going on, and then our long-awaited horse riding event that was cancelled just after the pandemic, or just as we went into lockdown, and also the boat trip. And Sandra, I know you've got a boat trip as well, which Douglas Bader are kindly funding for. Amazing. It's Sandra, what would you call it? That long? Oh, there's a word for it, isn't there?
No,
barge.
Barge, yes, thank you. A barge, that's it. We've got to book that in as well. Yeah, of course, Adam, go ahead off. Thanks so much for coming along.
I think we were talking to Christopher about it, and we're not going to do it because he asked me about doing it together, and maybe we can go in with you. But
yeah,
we
definitely.
both agreed springtime next year.
Yeah, that's what certainly what we're thinking. Horse riding, I think we might, depending on the situation. It might be February half term, but it would be a smaller event than what we were planning. And that can be very social distanced, something like that, can't it? That's if the horses are doing it, obviously. But anyway, so yeah, there's lots of exciting things coming, guys, really exciting things. We just need to get through these cold months, and hopefully we can have some fun even in that as well. You know, there's a lot of good stuff coming up. So yeah, just everybody stay well. Colin, did you want to say anything more?
No, just thank you for everybody for coming tonight. Have a lovely Christmas, as I said. Happy New Year to you all, and please all stay safe.
Yeah, so we don't go into another lockdown.
No,
Yeah,
let's hope
absolutely.
not. Okay.
Thanks to our note taker, Angela Beaverley. Her surname is Beaver, actually, but she's Beaverley taking down notes. And thank you very, very much for that, Angela. Appreciate that. Wonderful.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you.
Speak to you
everyone.
soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Keep
Don't
safe.
go.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye all, stay safe.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 See you Friday.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thursday.
yeah.
Wait, where's my best?
Stop my share now. And then, hi, Linda.
Leave meeting.
On the bottom where it says leave.
How are your coffee catch-ups going, Emma?
Lovely to see you, Sandra.
How are your coffee catch-ups going? All right, yeah?
No, we're doing all that, but I'm not doing them all the time now. Kim
Oh, okay.
does it because it's just a bit. It's
So
just been
somebody
crazy.
asked me about joining something, and I said, I know you do one, and I know Alison does one on a Monday sometimes. So
We've got it. We've got the link on the events. What's it called? The events blog. But I just don't. I'm just because there's stuff that's booked in that I've got to do. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
Kim or Stu will generally cover it for us. But yeah, they definitely happen every week. That it's hit and miss whether I do like to do it just to keep an eye on things. Do you know what I
Where
mean?
do they find the link for it? It's on your Still Bones page.
Send it to you. Yeah, it's on our events. On our events thing, I'll send it to you so you got it.
All right, sweetheart. Take care.
Right, lovely to see you.
I'm
Take
free
care.
now. You can talk about. I just had my hair cut. I haven't done anything with it.
Oh, that's exciting.
See you later.
You've had it done for a while, haven't you?
No, look, it was
It
here.
looks lovely.
She
It
cut
looks lovely. Yeah,
2 inches off, but yeah.
it looks lovely, Sandra. I'm glad you had it done. Must have felt lovely.
Thank you for not mentioning eggheads.
Oh, no.
Did you watch it?
No, I haven't watched it. No, I haven't watched it.
Why not?
I just won't. I won't watch it. I just can't.
Why?
I just won't. It's just.
They cut your singing out, and I couldn't work out which question you sang to. And I'm thinking, why did they cut your singing out? It's hilarious. Well, it wasn't hilarious.
No. I just won't. I just won't watch it. It's just how I am with stuff like. I just don't. I don't want to do it.
You look all right, sweetheart.
Oh, bless you, Sandra. Bless you.
Right then, take care, everyone.
You take care. All
Bye.
right. See you.
Bye.
Linda. Oh, you're on mute, my love. You're on mute. Hold on. Oh, you're still on mute. Does it come up to say on mute? Oh no, I can't. Oh no. Oh, Linda. Has it come up to say on mute? Hopefully it will come up a little message. It says unmute. No? Maybe I'm talking to her. I don't know. She might be able to hear me. Maybe she can hear me. Oh, she can hear me. We just can't hear you. I'm shouting at her now. That's what she's doing. God bless. Oh dear. It's a funny old thing, Zoom, isn't it? Dear me. No, we can't hear you. Sorry, Linda. But it's so lovely to have you on here. I don't know why it's not. It's a funny old thing, Linda. Zoom just works if it were. I mean, Colin, we were on a thing today, weren't we? And it was playing Nightmares, wasn't it? Oh, I'm recording this. I'm going to stop it now because we've had enough of the fun on the record. Yeah. Yes, I want to.